All right, today we're diving into something that sounds a little like science fiction, but is very, very real using AI in project management to predict the future. We're talking about giving project managers a kind of crystal ball. So let's see how this incredible tech is completely changing the game.
I mean, think about it. What if you could spot a project that was doomed to fail before it even kicks off? The amount of resources, the time, the sheer energy you could save just by knowing the likely outcome from day one. That's the kind of power we're talking about here.
For decades, project management has been this mix of hard won experience and, let's be honest, a good amount of guesswork. But now AI is offering this incredible third option, actual prediction. And look, it's not here to replace that valuable experience. It's here to supercharge it, to turn those educated guesses into seriously calculated certainties.
Okay, so to really get why this is such a big deal, we first have to talk about the scale of the problem itself. I mean, just how uncertain are these big projects, and what's the real cost when things go south? Get this, some studies show that a whopping 70% of projects fail to meet their original goals. We're talking budgets blown, deadlines completely missed, or the project just failing outright. That's the expensive reality we're dealing with, and it's exactly why being able to predict this stuff is so incredibly valuable. And this right here is the whole point. The big goal is to take all that knowledge about what went wrong and move it from the end of a project, the postmortem, all the way to the start. It's a complete flip. Instead of being reactive, you get to be truly proactive. So how in the world do you actually build this thing, this crystal ball? Well, it's not magic, not at all. It's all about training an AI to learn from history, to basically become a kind of digital oracle for our projects. So the key tech behind this is something called supervised learning. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like teaching a kid with flashcards. You show the AI a bunch of historical examples. Like you showed a past project and tell it, hey, this one was a success. Then you showed another one and say, this one, total failure. And after it sees enough of these examples, it starts to figure out the patterns all on its own. And the process for doing this is actually pretty straightforward. Step one, you gather up a ton of data from all your past projects. This is the raw material, right? Then, step two, you label every single one of those projects with a clear outcome, success or failure. This is so important because you're literally teaching the AI what success looks like. And finally, step three, you just let the algorithm loose to find all those hidden connections that our human brains might totally miss.
All right, let's peek under the hood. How does this prediction engine actually work? Now, while the algorithm itself can be super complex, the way the software is put together is surprisingly simple. It's really just a basic three-part system. Yeah, it really just boils down to these three steps: input, process, and output. You feed it data, the AI does its thing and finds the patterns, and then you get a clear predictive answer. It's a really simple and incredibly powerful workflow. First up is the input. This is the fuel for the whole engine. We're talking about all the key details from past projects, things like budgets, team sizes, schedules, all the risks you documented. And the rule here is pretty simple. The better the data you put in, the smarter the prediction you get out. Next is the process. And this is where the magic happens. The AI, which is often what's called a neural network, just gets to work. It chews through all that input data, finding these super subtle patterns and combinations of things that consistently lead to success, insights that honestly would be almost impossible for a person to spot. And finally, you get the output. The system doesn't just give you a vague maybe. Nope, it gives you a number, a clear, actionable probability of success for your new project based on everything it's learned from the past. So what does that actually look like? Well, imagine you get a score of 95%. That gives everyone involved, from the project sponsor to the PMO, this incredible data-backed confidence. It's a clear green light. But what if the score is, say, 65%? Well, that's not necessarily a no, but it's a huge red flag. It's a powerful signal telling you to go back and figure out how to strengthen the plan before you commit any real resources. But here's the thing. This isn't just a one-and-done check at the very beginning of a project. Think of AI as more of a co-pilot, something that can give you guidance throughout the entire project. Especially in those critical early stages, this is an absolute game changer. Take project screening, for example. You can just set a baseline rule. Hey, we're not even going to consider a project unless it has at least an 80% probability score.
And when you're trying to pick between several good options, this score becomes this really powerful objective metric to make sure you're putting your money and people on the horse with the best chance of winning. There's this fantastic analogy for how this works during the project itself. Imagine the project manager is at the start of a long hallway, kind of like in a video game. And on both sides of the hallway, there are doors. Each door represents a major project decision.
So, as the project manager, you walk up to each door, each big decision point, and you can run a quick prediction. Okay, what happens if I open door A? The AI comes back, 45% probability of success. What about door B? The AI says that choice boosts your success chance all the way up to 98%. It's like having a co-pilot that's constantly helping you navigate, always steering you down the path with the highest chance of success.
Now, look, prediction is obviously incredibly powerful, but it's really just the beginning. AI brings a full toolkit to the table, and it's all designed to make every single part of project management smarter.
And it's really important to get that we're talking about different tools for different jobs here. So supervised learning, that's what we've been focusing on. It's great for predicting a specific outcome, right? Answering, will this project succeed? But then you have unsupervised learning. Think of that as your explorer. It just dives into your data and finds hidden patterns. Like maybe it finds 5 common types of project risks you never noticed before. And then there's reinforcement learning. That's your strategist. It learns from trial and error to figure out the absolute best response to a new problem.
And really, that's the big takeaway here. The real power of AI isn't just one cool tool. It's a full toolkit that helps you make smarter, data-driven decisions across the board.
So, what AI really gives us is this incredible glimpse into the future of our projects. It's a tool that can help us dodge failures and actively steer towards success. The real question now is, how are we gonna choose to use it?